Now, your only live primetime newscast. First News at 9 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Hayley Spitler. Gary King remains in his position as Eau Claire County District Attorney as he is investigated by the governor's office for sexual harassment and being intoxicated at work. The DA office manager says King is out of the office taking voluntary leave for the next 2 weeks. During that time, his cases are being handled by assistant district attorneys. Though King still holds his role as district attorney, his access to the office and courthouse is limited. County Administrator Catherine Schaaf notes in a letter sent to King he will only have access to the DA's office and will have to use the public entrance to the building and go through the security checkpoint to access the second floor. Yesterday, we reported Governor Evers has appointed a commissioner to investigate the district attorney. Then Evers will decide if King can keep his job. King will be represented in the upcoming proceeding by former Dane County DA Hal Harlow. In a statement this afternoon, Harlow says in part, quote, "We hope that the public that Gary has served, including local officials, will not rush to judgment on incomplete information and will first allow the governor to reach a decision based upon a deliberative and fair process." A fire occurred inside a La Crosse duplex this afternoon. According to the fire department, firefighters arrived at 12:15 and found a fire in an upstairs bathroom. The flames were contained and no one was inside the duplex when firefighters arrived. The cause of the fire at 1717 Taylor Street is under investigation with no injuries being reported. El Chapo's wife pleads guilty to federal charges in the U.S. Emma Coronel Aspero was in federal court today where she pled guilty to 3 federal offenses. As part of her plea deal, she admitted to helping her husband, Mexican drug kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, run this multi-billion-dollar criminal empire. Prosecutors say she acted as a go-between, delivering messages to cartel members after her husband's arrest and conspired with Guzman's sons to plan his prison escapes. She will be sentenced in September. Final preparations are underway for the Deke Slayton Air Fest, which returns this weekend to the Coulee region. It includes one of the most noted flying groups in the world. First at 9's Alex Loroff has a preview. The Deke Slayton Air Fest began in 1998 and ran for 10 consecutive years. The show has been held on and off since 2008, with the last show in 2014. The spread of COVID-19 in Wisconsin is now considered low in 3 counties, Lincoln, Pepin, and Trumpealo. But there remains concern over getting the state's vaccination rate back up. 43.6% of the state's population is now fully vaccinated against the virus, with 13,000 more people finishing those shots in the arm. Eau Claire County's rate sits tonight at 46.7%. Chippewa County has 41.7% of its population fully vaccinated. La Crosse County moves above 50% today, and 35.5% of Dunn County's population has completed the inoculation process. Former Wisconsin governors Jim Doyle and Scott Walker don't agree on much, but they found one area of common ground.
Let's do a commercial together reminding people in Wisconsin how important it is to be vaccinated.
That may be the best idea you've ever had.
I agree.
The Democratic and Republican former governors are calling for people to get the COVID-19 vaccine through a new PSA produced by UW Health. Doyle and Walker each released statements saying they hope the ad will encourage everyone to get vaccinated to enjoy the summer and return to a more normal life. This isn't the first push by a former Wisconsin governor to get the state fully vaccinated. Current interim UW system president Tommy Thompson wielded a sledgehammer in a series of videos last year urging people to smash COVID. There may soon be a second COVID-19 vaccine option for adolescents. Moderna has asked the FDA for emergency use authorization of its vaccine for 12 to 17-year-olds. A trial of more than 3,700 people in that age group showed none of the vaccine participants contracted COVID-19 starting 14 days after their second doses. The FDA approved Pfizer's request for its shot in the same age group last month. Many experts consider vaccinating younger people as an important step in fighting the coronavirus, especially as many schools prepare for in-person learning in the fall. In his first full day overseas as Commander-in-Chief, President Biden held talks with British Prime Minister Boris Johnson, discussing some of the biggest issues impacting the world. The president also outlined the importance of helping other countries in their COVID-19 fight. Fox's Caroline Shively has the details.
We've had a good...
Still ahead, a Chippewa Valley favorite event is back in person this year. Up next, we head to today's groundbreaking for a new site that will help students with special needs.
First News at 9 will continue at...
This morning, Gateways, a program that serves 20 to 35 students aged 18 to 21 with special needs, symbolically broke ground on a new site that they'll soon call home. First News at 9's Jessica Mendoza shares the vision behind this new transition center. That was Jessica Mendoza reporting. While ECASD is funding the renovation project, Gateways and Life Without Limits are fundraising with a goal of $100,000 to add the finishing touches, such as furniture and appliances needed. When the weather is like this, it's not surprising to see pavement buckles on the roads. So far this year, the Wisconsin DOT has already reported 115 incidents of pavement buckling on state highways. That compares to 163 last year and just 105 in 2019. Devin Herrings, the Northwest Region Pavement Engineer for Wisconsin DOT, says crews expect to deal with this issue every year, as Wisconsin's climate includes temperatures that are extremely hot and extremely cold.
As the temperature increases, concrete wants to expand. Well, what ends up happening is it eventually runs out of room to expand, and it'll run into another section of concrete, and then it'll find a weak spot and it'll start pushing up on the pavement, which causes a buckle.
As this heat continues, the DOT is asking drivers to pay extra attention on the roads and give yourself extra space to stop. Drivers should call 911 if they see a pavement buckle out on the road, so crews can be called in to shut down the lanes. Well, the heat remains on blast tomorrow, but some changes will come later in the day. After going virtual last year, the Chippewa Valley Home Builders Association's Parade of Homes is back and in person. This year's parade features 14 new homes, 2 remodeled homes, and 1 virtual home tour. The new homes range in value from $170,000 to over $750,000. Parade of Homes co-chair Jane Gobler says this year's designs have a lot to offer.
The trends this year are really amazing. You're going to see a lot of blue, a lot of the modern and rustic kind of combined, just some really unique features in each of the houses.
The Parade of Homes runs from June 12th through June 19th. Coming up next in sports, the Brewers look for a series win over the Reds. Plus, boys tennis action as local athletes look to earn a trip to state. Viterbo University is responding to threatening and racist messages found on the doors of a woman's residence hall restroom yesterday. The university says law enforcement and the school are conducting investigations. Viterbo has installed additional security cameras and added security personnel. Traveling is becoming a little bit easier for the La Crosse region. Starting June 5th, a 3rd daily Delta flight will be added from La Crosse Regional Airport to the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport.
Definitely would be remiss if I didn't say happy birthday to Hayley.
Thank you, Darren. I mean, the warm weather you gave me was by far the best birthday gift a girl could ask for. I enjoyed it, and I hope all of you guys did too. An 8-year-old boy who's been in foster care for more than 1,500 days was adopted in Eau Claire this morning. First News at 9's Jessica Mendoza has the details of this inspiring and unlikely new family. The city of Waco celebrated Baylor University's national championship win Tuesday. The city hosted a parade and rally more than a week after the Baylor Bears men's basketball team beat Gonzaga. The national championship is the first in the school's history. That parade included players, coaches, administrators, and guests. And my brother went to Baylor, so I'm very happy for him and the Bears. But you know what I noticed, Tucker, is the weather seems to be a lot nicer and warmer down in Texas. Big changes to the Brooklyn Center, Minnesota Police Department in the wake of the fatal shooting of Daunte Wright. This as Wright's family is meeting with George Floyd's family as the prosecution in the Derek Chauvin case rests and the defense starts presenting its case. 3 months in the hospital with COVID-19 and a stroke, an Eau Claire County man is finally going home on his birthday. Stephen Berg tested positive for COVID-19 back in January and a few days later was admitted to the hospital struggling to breathe. breathe. While there, he also suffered a stroke. And just remember, guys, when thunder roars, head indoors. That's what Darren taught us tonight. Thanks for joining us tonight for First News at